Welcome back. All right, so I am going to be doing these two molds here today. These are the two that I made. I did this one the other day on the video and somehow I lost the video. So I'm going to redo it, which I'm having to report because I had so many bubbles. I was using Resin's epoxy resin. And I mean, it's super thin, but it just had tons and tons and tons of bubbles. Like, oh God, it was horrible. So, even though it was a thin viscosity and, vacuum chamber, all that, it just, yeah, it was, that piece did not turn out well at all. So, the deal is to re-pour this one and then I'm going to pour this one. I'm concerned with this one because the bottom is kind of thin, but I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get it out without tearing it up. So that's the plan. I did not measure and count how much this one actually held. So I am going to mix up about probably, I'm going to say this one probably holds about 5.5 to 6 ounces. I think that's what, no, I know I did 8 and I had a lot left over. So I'm saying about 5 ounces for this one and maybe 6 or 7 for this one. So let me go ahead and get started on that. And then we will get, I'll come back as soon as I get the resin and vacuum chamber and all that done. I'll be back in just a minute. All right, I thought I'd bring you guys along just to watch the vacuum chamber in case some of y'all don't know anything about a vacuum chamber, you're not familiar with it. So this little blue dial here, you got to make sure it's open, okay? And then the red dial, you got to make sure it's closed. And then you let your pressure get up, you know, and then once your bubbles start forming, sorry, I've got that thing there. Never took that sticker off, but so you can sit and watch the bubbles rise. Once they start falling back down on themselves, then you know that it's good. So what you do, you close the blue valve, turn off your pump, which is right here, the pump. You'll turn it off in the back. This is a Vavor brand. Um, for anybody that doesn't, there's all kinds of brands out there. I really like the Vavor brand. Um, I mean, so far they've never done me wrong. I've had good success with this brand. I've got their heat press and just all kinds of different things from this company, and I I really like their products. My I think tum my sublimation uh heat machines are Vivor too, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, once they start falling back down on themselves, like they're doing right now, then you know it's done. So I'm going to turn off. I'm going to try to show you this. I will turn off the blue valve, which is going to be kind of hard because I got to do this all at one time or it builds up too much pressure. So I'm going to turn the blue valve off and then I'm going to turn it off. And then here, y'all don't look at my messy room. And here you will slowly start releasing your pressure, and then your bubbles, you'll see your bubbles go down. You don't want to release your pressure all at once. I'm sure y'all seen Michelle do this many times, but just in case you haven't, I wanted to show you guys. So if y'all haven't, if you haven't gotten a vacuum chamber, I would strongly, strongly advise you to get one. Let me throw this back on my thing here without messing up my phone if I can. And let me grab this. But yeah, I know I have several brand new people in here, so I wanted to make sure that I you know, I showed you guys that. I won't show it every time. That gets redundant. But and I went ahead and put my brown in, and that's, well, it wasn't brown, it was coffee, but I went ahead and put it in. Now I'm going to spray this mold here really, really good, because like I said, I got tons and tons of bubbles in the face and all around in here. So I want to really focus on that face there for sure. I know you don't spray alcohol in your homemade molds, but however, this is mine. I have the original. I can always, you know, make another one. Okay, here we go. I am going to pour very slow. I'm going to go down the side of it so that way it doesn't create, you know, too many bubbles. And I've had this on the heat, on the heat mat, my resin, so it should be, and I don't like doing this because this does create bubbles also, but I want to make sure that I'm not, you know, getting, I can't really see, my overhead light is off because people are saying they can't see. So with that overhead light, because it gives a glare, but then I can't see what I'm doing. But I want you guys to be able to see, you know, what I'm doing here. And I really hope this comes out this time. If it doesn't, I'm going to be super, super sad, because I don't know what else to do if it doesn't. And where I thought that I was going to have issues, I didn't have any issues. That's the problem. I'm going to spray, and I am going to twirl this around in here. I don't know that that's really doing me any good. And this is just regular set. It's not fast set resin. I got a little bubble in there. I'm definitely going to use my heat gun to pop any air bubbles that I see form up in there, because I want to give this the best chance that I can of not having any kind of bubbles. Okay. All right. It's getting warm on me, so I've got to get going. And I only mixed up 5 ounces, so that may not even be enough. I can't remember how many actual ounces it held the other day when I did that. I wished I would have paid attention, but I had so many other molds that I just went ahead and, you know, poured. And we got bubbles coming out. But I want to get them bubbles out of there. For sure. Like I said, I'm going to give this every opportunity I can to be bubble free, so it will hopefully not form, you know, any bubbles. And if you pour from up high and pour slow, it will sometimes work. I'm not going to say it always works, because it doesn't, but for the most part, it does work. You can see some bubbles popping up right there. And in these kind of molds, heat guns are your friend, especially when you got bubbles and you need to pop them. Yeah. And I'm hoping this is going to cure with so much alcohol that I'm putting in here. I just want to give this the best chance I can. Because like I said, I poured it the other day and it did not. I was so upset. But what I was mainly upset about is when I lost my video. That's what really got me, was my video. And I didn't do enough. So that was 5 ounces. So this takes about 5.5 ounces. So if y'all, once we demold and you guys see what this is, if you're interested in this mold, just know that it's going to take about probably 5.5 ounces, and I'll mix it up with this one over here when I mix that one up, because I know that one's going to take a lot more. And I'm going to scrape my cup as good as I can scrape it. And I dissolved my mica in alcohol, so that also is going to help, you know, with a lot of the bubbles, because I did it with alcohol and dissolved it, and I didn't have to continuously sit and stir for umpteen million hours to make sure that, you know, I got all of it out. And plus, you know, I put it through the vacuum chamber. That eliminates bubbles. Doesn't get rid of all of them. I'm not going to say that it does, but it helps a lot. And I'm just going to reuse this cup to mix my next batch in. And if this one held 5.5, I'm going to say that one right there is probably going to hold about 7 or 8. I would rather have too little than too much, because I don't want to do any extras. It's kind of late and I got a late start today. I have got all kinds of crazy things going on right now, and just like I said, just, you know, pop your bubbles the best you can with your heat gun. What you can't pop, just let them come to the top and then just spritz. A couple of spritzes and that's that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and mix up the resin for this and finish filling that up. I think that's probably going to take about a half an ounce. So let me get that done, and I will I'll get that mixed up and that through the vacuum chamber. Since y'all have already seen it, you don't need to see it again. And I will see you guys back here in just a few seconds. Be right back. Okay, guys. All right, let me get this poured in here because I forgot to. So that one will take about 5.5 ounces, because 5.5 was spot on for that. So I mixed up 8 just because it's, you know, you can't really mix up 7 or whatever. So, you know, not in these little cups. They don't have the, that's why we waste so much resin, because it's the way these cups are. You can't really measure out your exact, you know, amount that you need for what you need, you know. So, all right, I'm gonna spritz this real good, because I've not poured in this one yet, but I'm sure this one's probably going to be just like the other one. And I'm worried about this piece here too. So I'm going to have to be very, very careful. And I'm trying not to create any bubbles in this. I should have got my heat gun ready, because I know I'm going to need it. Clean my hands off. I don't like everything sticky. That is going to be a pretty brown. Wow, it's amazing. I like that color. All right, I'm going to pour from up high. Pour slow. Let it just run down naturally as best as I can anyway. Now, some of the detail, of course, I will have to go in with, you know, paint markers or something, and of course, you know, paint those, but I know some of y'all guessed all kinds of different things, which they were good guesses, but I haven't had anybody guess it correct yet. So, oh, my alcohol is getting empty in this bottle. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of squeegee it around a little bit, real slow, because I don't want bubbles. And I seen 2 bubbles just then. And we're just going to keep spraying as I go because, like I said, I want it to have the best outcome I can give it. Okay, here we go with the rest. Oh, well, not the rest, but a little bit more. I'm really hoping I don't get any bubbles in either one of these because, oh, I want them to turn out so much. I mean, the molds, don't get me wrong, the molds turned out. It's just now being able to get a good pour for you guys so y'all can see what, I made. And that way, if y'all want to, and they will, once I, put them up in the shop, they'll be ready, for purchase. So just know that you're gonna have bubbles. So you're gonna have to, babysit and, do everything you can to, eliminate your bubbles in this mold. I don't know so much about this one because, like I said, I haven't poured in this one, but in the other one, I have poured. So I know the other one had, like I said, it had tons and tons of bubbles for me. So, you know, just know that you gotta work at them bubbles because you're gonna definitely have some because it's got, I mean, they have a lot of detail. So just know that you're gonna have, quite a bit of bubbles, but you can eliminate them. So just know that. Squeezing on your mold. Heat gun, like I said, heat gun's your best friend in molds like this. Well, even in coaster molds, they do good too. But and vacuum chamber or a debubbling machine, anything that's going to help you eliminate bubbles. That's, I would say, for the new people, that would be my thing that I would say invest in. And of course, a respirator. I have one. I do not wear it, no, because of the fact that it's too hard to sit and talk to you guys with the respirator on your face. So, and this one does not hold 7.5 ounces. So this one's probably going to hold 8 ounces. So I'm going to have to mix up more for this one too, probably. Ay, ay, ay. I didn't want to have to mix up any more resin tonight, but looks like I'm going to have to. But I will do that off camera. You guys don't have to sit and watch me mix up more resin. Y'all already know how. Most of y'all already know how to mix up resin. And if you don't know, if you're new and you don't know anything about resin, any of that, go back and watch some of my older videos. I show it in just about every one of my videos, how to mix resin, all that stuff, all the tricks, everything that I do. Just go back and watch, my earlier videos, and you'll see how how to mix resin. I don't do it on here anymore because most people know how to do it. I mean, even though I know I got newcomers in here, but like I said, you know, just go back and watch my older videos and you'll see what to do. All right, so I'm going to mix up probably another 1/2 ounce. So this one takes 8, that one takes 7. And there's a pesky little bubble that doesn't want, yep, there it went. Like I say, there's a pesky little bubble right there that doesn't want to pop. But I definitely want to get rid of the bubbles as much as I can. And I'll keep an eye on it too. And oh, it's smoking. All right, guys, that is it for right now until time to demold. And once that gets hard and we can demold it, we'll be back and we'll demold. I'm gonna get the rest of this poured in. But like I said, you guys don't need to watch me for that. Y'all have already seen me do it. So, all right, guys, I will see y'all back in a little bit. Okay, guys, we are back. Time for demold on these two. And I'm hoping that I don't have any problem getting them out because I'm the only one here. My kiddo had to take the dog and get their nails done. So I'm hoping I have no problem. Let me put on a pair of gloves because I don't want to touch the mold inside. So this one's been demolded at least this would be the second, well, the third time actually from the master to now. This will be the third time this one's been used, so it shouldn't be all that difficult. Got to put it up against my body. Sorry, because it is a booger bear to get out, guys. I am not kidding. Once you get past, and you'll see what I'm talking about, once you get past a certain point, it comes out. Looky there. It came out perfect this time. That's normal for all that silicone to come out with it. I don't see any, I'm not seeing any micro bubbles. I'm seeing a lot of silicone, but like I said, that's natural and that will all come out over time. You won't have that anymore. But the hair and everything came out perfect this time. Awesome! So what do you guys think? She's got flowers here, and she's got little flowers and stems here. I think she's so cute. The last one, now I'll show you the one that I originally did where I lost the video and I was very upset. I painted it, I did it this color in the mold and then I painted it brown, but see the difference? See all the micro bubbles? I mean, it was awful. And I painted it with just paint. So that one really was, but this one turned out really, really good. Awesome. I'm so happy. Okay. So, like I said, anytime you get a new mold, you're going to have loose silicone that comes out, and that's, you know, that's natural. It'll eventually stop doing that over time. The more you pour in it, the less you're going to have. So this will be on my website for sale. The link is in the description box. You just go into the Buy Me a Coffee, click shop, and I will have it put in there. Now, when you order this, because I do not make these ahead of time. So, you know, with me doing videos, all that, it's just me. You're going to have to give me a couple of weeks, you know, to get it done and all that. But like I said, see, you can still see loose silicone in here. And like I said, it'll eventually, you know, break loose and come out over time. Okay. So now this one I've only demolded out of this one once, and I've got a little bit of fixing to do with this. Because of course, let me get to where I can. You just got to get past a certain point, and then you can pop it out. But you just got to get past that certain point of being able to pop them out without me ripping my mold, because I do have a couple of places that I didn't put enough silicone, and so I'm trying not to rip my mold, but still get it out. Oh, how cute. Oh, he's so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Oh, y'all, hang on a minute. I'm going to show you. I just have to look at it for just a second. Oh my God, it turned out perfect. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh my Lanta Santa. Okay, here it is. Isn't it beautiful? And this is its little hat, and it's got hearts. I did this for Valentine's Day, and then I didn't get it out in time. But nonetheless, you know, hearts are good all year round, right? So, and everybody loves these little Highland cows or yaks or whatever you want to call them. But oh my, how pretty did this one turn out? I am so ecstatic. Okay, so same with this one. This will be up for sale in the store. I got a little bubble right there, but that's not bad for this whole cow here. And look how shiny and smooth that hat is. Oh, I'm so happy. And like I said, you're going to get loose silicone. It's, you know, you just get something and wipe it off. You know, a brush, whatever you want to use on it. But it is so cute. And I've got other stuff that I'm trying to work on getting molded. My problem is finding, you know, things that I can use to put things in to mold them. That's the problem I'm running into, because I don't have anything really quite big enough for some of the stuff that I'm wanting to mold. But these turned out absolutely adorable. I mean, absolutely adorable. And this, I may take and put like some sealer or something on it to make it shiny like this one. you know how shiny this one is, so all the detail comes out perfect. So I may take the original and spray it really good with some, I mean, I really don't want to do that because I don't want to mess up my main, you know, my main copy. But adorable. And then we're going to paint it with some markers. I've got markers. So we're going to get those done up. Those are just stinking adorable, guys. I'm so excited. And I'm so glad they turned out. Let me see. I've got some new markers in other than my oil base. And I'm trying to see what colors I want to grab on my oil base markers. And then I have my Posca paint markers. Here's a pink. I'm just going to grab, you know, different random colors in markers, and you know, just, and then we'll pick and choose from there, because I do have quite a bit of markers. I need to get my little holder over there under my desk so I can get to them easier over there than I can over here, because then I try to pick them all up and then I drop every one of them out of my hand. Oh, okay, let's see. All right, I think I got what I wanted, because I've got this new box here too that I really do like. Okay, so I'm just picking colors. And some of these have never, well, most of my markers have never been used, and I've got a huge tub up here that has hardly been used. But that is just adorbs, as Michelle says. It's just adorbs. I need to invest in me some more rhinestones, is what I need to do. And I will probably either I'm going to fast forward this video, or I will stop it and go ahead and paint it up and get it done, and then come back and let you guys see, you know, the transformation of, you know, everything. So there's really not a whole lot to paint. I didn't get a black though. Let me grab a black marker. And I didn't get a white one. So there's not, on this one, there's not a whole lot to paint on him. I do have just a tad bit of trim in there, but I think I can just snip it off with my little snippers. And I think I will be good on this. These flush cutters come in so handy. So if y'all don't have any of these, I would strongly suggest to buy some, because it helps you trim without having to pull out, you know, your sanders or whatever the case may be. And it's just small pieces that you have to trim and you don't want to pull out, you know, your whole sanding kit thing, whatever, and it trims it and it's perfect. And then you can't really even tell that you've really done anything. Get that little edge off right there. And this is just the way it was made, so, you know, not really much I can do about that other than just, and that's it. That's all you do. I mean, how easy was that? Just to snip that little edge off his bottom there. And I'm going to go ahead and do this one too while I'm at it. You really just want to, you know, take off the rough edges. That's all you want to do. So that way nobody, you know, gets cut. Now, granted, this stuff here is part of his, a little bit part of his hair, but it's still overage. So you want to make sure you get it. And there you go. Let's snip this a little bit. You just want to make it smooth, you know, to where nobody gets cut on the resin, because let me tell you, resin's sharp. And that is no joke. I have been cut so many times by resin, it's not even funny. I may have to get my little fingernail file to get into that little spot, but let me see if I can turn these around. And okay, see how easy that was? That was easy peasy breezy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start on his little eyes and nose. This is why I don't like painting. My side is not, my hands are not steady enough to really paint and get, you know, in every little nook and cranny of the eye here. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. Now I think I want to do his little nose pink. Well, we'll go ahead and do his hooves. His hooves are black. I gotta pull this up to me so I can see, or we're gonna have black everywhere. And these are my oil-based markers, but I really need some fatter ones so we can, you know, get them painted a lot quicker. Okay, so now that y'all see pretty much what I'm doing, I'm just painting his hooves and all that. And I'm sure I may have to go back over it since that brown is there, but hopefully not too much. I tried to kind of keep it light with the brown, so but more than likely I'll probably have to go back over them. I'm gonna have to get me a stiff brush to loosen up some of this resin in here. So let me get this little brush right here. It's pretty stiff. Just to get in there and loosen up some of that silicone out of there. These little brushes right here, you can get them at the Dollar Tree is where I bought this one. And all I did was cut it. I cut it down so it would be stiffer, because of course down here is stiffer. So I just cut the tip side off. So I just touched the eye. But that way it would, I could have it a lot stiffer for what I need. I was using these when I was doing when I did tumblers, so but it's coming in real handy for this loose silicone for sure. So really that's all you need to do is just get your real stiff brush and just kind of go around and it will get all that silicone out of there. I don't like how that it makes the, and I've got glitter from another project that I was trying to get filmed too, because I want to trying to stay ahead. But sometimes it's not that easy to do that. So yeah, I just get me a real stiff, some kind of brush and just brush all that loose silicone. And I'm going to go back over him, with a little bit more brown, I think, to kind of cover up some of that white. I don't know though. I kind of like it. It gives it more of a two-toned look. But I don't know. I'll probably go in with something to kind of darken it up just a little bit. Maybe give him some black highlights. Who knows? But we will definitely get it figured out. But just know you're just going to have that until all that silicone comes out of that hair, because these got some really, really detailed hair and stuff. So They are very well detailed. That's for sure. But they're super, super stinking cute. Alright guys, I am going to go ahead and get this finished up. And I will come back on as soon as I have these painted. And we will do the reveal. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright guys, we're back. Alright, so here's the first one. Now, y'all don't make fun of the eyes, because, I mean, he does look like he's scared crapless, but, you know, I mean, I'm not very good with eyes, but I think he turned out really stinking cute. He's got some glitter in him, because I got glitter everywhere, but I think he turned out super cute. But like I said, good thing I didn't go to school for painting, because I would have failed miserably. But, two, I will say that don't use markers when trying to paint. Use paint. It works better. Alright, and then here's this little guy. Didn't he turn out cute? Now, you know, minus the mouth a little bit, but, you know, like I said, I'm not a painter, okay? I'm not, my hands aren't that steady, but I think he turned out. I don't like the silver around here because it reflects that. So it looks like there's pink up here, and there's not. You can see it's chrome. But I think he turned out super adorable. So yeah, these two molds will be available and on sale on the Buy Me a Coffee link. Just click the link and go into shop, and these two molds will be there. This one I will probably label. I don't know how I'm going to label this one. I'll probably put the picture out beside them, so that way y'all know which one you're getting. And that way I know which one y'all are choosing also. So, but anyway, alright guys, that is it for this video. Just don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video.